Welcome to the Nursing Academy. As you know, we are back with another educative video. To the old members, welcome back. To the new members, subscribe and be part of our family. So today is Anatomy Monday. We upload anatomy videos on Monday. So we will be discussing the structural levels of the human body, part 1. So the structural levels of the human body, this involves an atom, a molecule, a cell, a tissue, organ system, then an organism. So the cell. All living things are made of cells and cell products. Cells are the smallest living units of the human body. The human body develops from a single cell known as the zygote. So it results from the fusion of the ovum, the female egg cell, and the spermatozoa, male germ cell. So cell multiplication follows, and as the fetus grows, cells with different structural and functional specializations develop with the same genetic makeup as the zygote. Individual cells are too small to be seen with the naked eye. However, they can be seen with thin slices of tissue as stained in the laboratory and magnified by a microscope. So here we're saying the cell is the smallest functional unit of the human body. You and I started as a zygote. We are cells. Yes, so it results from the fusion of the ovum and the spermatozoa. Then there's a zygote to a fetus to a baby till we keep developing. So the cell structure and function. So despite there are many differences, meaning there are different types of cells, a human cell has several distinct structural features. A cell consists of a plasma membrane inside which there are a number of organelles floating in a watery fluid called cytosol. Organelles are small structures with highly specialized functions, many of which are contained within a membrane. They include a nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum or ER, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, microfilaments, and microtubules. So a cell structure. This cilia is hair. It's hairy. Sometimes you find it on your throat or in your nose. Then we have the lysosomes, centriomes, microtubules, Golgi apparatus. Then the endoplasmic reticulum is divided into two. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we have the nuclear membrane, ribosomes, chromatin, the nucleolus, cytoplasm, and the cell membrane. So the plasma membrane. Every cell in the body is enclosed by a cell plasma membrane. The cell membrane separates the material outside the cell from the material inside the cell. So the material outside is called extracellular fluid. The material inside is called intracellular fluid. The membrane, sorry, the membrane maintains the integrity of a cell and controls passage of materials in and out of the cell. It is semi-permeable. That is, it regulates what enters and exits the cell. All materials within a cell must have access to the cell membrane, the cell's boundary for the needed exchange. So a plasma membrane is just a body enclosed by the cell. It's in charge of what enters and leaves the cell. For example, Zambia has a border post. So it's in charge of what enters Zambia, what leaves Zambia, all illegal stuff. Same thing as the plasma membrane. It's like a border post around the country. So the plasma membrane consists of phospholipids, cholesterol, and proteins. The phospholipids are diglycerides, which form a double layer and make up most of the membrane. Phospholipids permit lipid-soluble materials to easily enter or leave the cell by diffusion through the cell membrane. The presence of cholesterol decreases the fluidity of the membrane, thus making it more stable. The proteins have several functions. So if you've noticed, at first I said the membrane consists of phospholipids, cholesterol, and proteins. So phospholipids, they permit the movements of the cell in and out. Then the presence of cholesterol decreases fluidity of the membrane, so it makes it more stable. Then the proteins have several functions. Some form channels or pores to permit passage of materials such as water or ions. Others are carrier enzymes or transports that also help substances enter the cell. Still, other proteins are antigens or markers that identify the cells of an individual as self, while other groups of proteins serve as receptor sites for hormones. Many hormones bring about their specific effects by first bonding to a receptor on the cell membrane. These molecules are part of the chemical communication networks that our cells have. So, this somehow is attached to the nervous system. So, we have receptors. The receptors help us send messages to the brain, and then the central nervous system communicates with the effectors. So the phospholipid molecules have a head which is electrically charged and is hydrophilic, meaning water loving, and the tail which has no charge is a hydrophobic, meaning water hating. These we must know. The phospholipid bilayer is arranged like a sandwich with the hydrophilic heads aligned on the outer surfaces of the membrane, and the non-electrically charged hydrophilic tail forming a central water-repelling layers. So the figures 7 and 8 show a cell plasma membrane depicting the types of molecules present. So this is the plasma membrane. This is the outer layer on top are hydrophilic, and the other ones are water hating. So there's the outer membrane, carbohydrate chain, alpha helix protein, cholesterol, hydrophobic region, and the protein there, then the inner membrane. So the nucleus and the nucleolus. With the exception of mature red blood cells, all human cells have a nucleus. A nucleus is found within the cytoplasm and is bounded by a double-layered nucleus membrane with many pores. It contains one or more nuclei and the chromosomes of the cell. Threads of chromatin in the nucleus contain deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, the genetic material of the cell, in the form of genes and also information for the formation of proteins. A nucleolus is small sphere of DNA, ribonucleic acid, RNA, and protein. It is the site of ribosome formation. So a question can come like, what is the site of ribosome formation? Okay, the nuclei form a type of RNA called ribosomal RNA, which become part of ribosomes, a cell organelle, and is involved in protein synthesis. The nucleus is the control center of the cell because it contains the chromosomes. Information is carried through chromosomes, which are a form of DNA. The nucleus determines how the cell will function as well as the basic structure of the cell. So the nucleus is the control center of the cell. It determines how the cell will function, and our genetic makeups are found in the DNA. So these small things have information of our genetic makeup. The cytoplasm. Sorry. The cytoplasm is a gel-like fluid inside the cell. It surrounds the organelles and is located between the nucleus and plasma membrane. It is a medium for chemical reaction. It provides a platform upon which other organelles can operate within the cell. Cytosol is the water portion of cytoplasm, and many chemical reactions take place within it. All of the functions for cell expansion, growth, and replication are carried out in the cytoplasm of a cell. Within the cytoplasm, materials move by diffusion. Diffusion refers to the movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of lower concentration. It is a physical process that can only work for short distances. Cytoplasmic organelles. These are little organs which are suspended in the cytoplasm of the cell. Each type of organelle has a definite structure and a specific role in the function of the cell. Examples of cytoplasmic organelles are mitochondrion, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum or ER, Golgi apparatus, and lysosomes. So if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Let's be interactive in the comment section below. This is part 1. Part 2 will feature next Anatomy Monday. Thank you.